This is great.
Let me go get a bottle opener real quick.
Okay, this is very cool. It's like, hold on a minute. If it's gonna be that cool,
dude, every time I do anything, I do it up.
I literally thought you were just gonna pour something into a glass and like, okay, it's made now. Nope, I was wrong. A briefcase was involved.
No, we got steps.
I was not prepared for this at all. Let me check my cams. Cam's looking good.
Yeah, is it bright enough?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Is it bright enough? Do I need more light? All right.
You're good. Boop. There we go. Okay, show me the process here. What do we got going on down here?
Oh yeah, we about to make drink, as you call it.
Gotta have it. Drink.
So
lowercase a.
This is an old drill case that I found actually in the dumpster and modified.
What?
Yeah, I bleached it. It's fine. This is also pre-COVID, so like
pre-COVID,
those things are getting rare. Yeah.
This is insane.
But inside,
and
we got all my bottles of wine.
What are these bottles? What kind of product are you packing in there?
So I mean, I go for the cheap stuff.
Oak Creek?
Actually, you ever had it?
It's a Cabernet Sauvignon though.
And then we also have same thing here, another cab. And then we have the Merlot that's already open.
Oh hell yeah! This is.
But I'm gonna open another one.
I mean, you've got the cups in there. You're like, this is the survival kit.
Yeah, we even have wine glasses.
Yes,
that you
the
can
wine
put
glasses with the bottoms. Yo,
and they break down. Yeah.
Kyle,
there's a few shots here.
Dude, you're a classy motherfucker.
And then we even have, if anybody has a beer, we got cup holders.
Oh my god. This is
actually came from, I think this came from, this is one of the Texas, this is Austin.
So that's Killer Queen merch
this
right
is
there.
actually, it has nothing to do with Killer Queen.
Really?
It has nothing to do with Killer Queen.
Texas,
That's why I had
Austin,
to buy it.
barbecue. Yeah, okay, right. The Killer Q. Got it.
Here it is. That's the place.
How Pappy Sook.
Yeah. Somebody out there might recognize it.
The reveal is so good. This is wild. I wish I had a cool way to pour my glasses. Let me see. Give me the PVC bottle, hun. No, you got it in your hand. Let me see that. This is all that I've got. I've got this plastic bottle that I picked up from Glitch. They're bottling their cocktails now. But it was just, it's a 1-2, I mean, maybe 3 steps, lid off, pour, and then set. So not nearly as fancy. It's just like
is that a Killer Queen glass there too?
Oh yeah. No, this is the Killer Queen glass from Queen's Gone Wild.
Oh, also I still have mine somewhere, hopefully.
Hell yeah. No, it's dope.
Yeah, since I moved in with my parents, I packed up half my stuff and it's off in storage somewhere.
Right. And then so you moved over there because it's just, I mean, what the heck are you paying rent for an apartment in COVID time? Like,
right? Yeah, I don't want to pay city rent for a city I can't interact with. So like,
that's dumb. What is city rent like in Charlotte anyway?
Well, my particular place was pretty expensive. It was a single, what do you call it? Studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
First apartment that I've had by myself. I was a little over 1,000.
Yeah.
So I'm saving mad money right now, hanging out with mom.
Hell yeah, man.
Might as well. I'd do the same thing.
Might as well.
That's
and
dope.
then every day I'm like, hey, give me some chores. I want to do something for you.
hey, make it worth my while here. Come on. I'm bored.
I've already done a lot of stuff here.
What and then you've got, so let's see here. This is your old room? Is that what we're looking at right now?
This is my old room, yeah.
That is dope.
So
all right, here's some of my favorites which you've got from on the wall. I'm just gonna pick a couple things out. Gotta shout out the applause sign. That's key. That's nice.
I actually made that. Let's see if it actually still lights up.
Does it work? Does it really?
There we go.
Oh shoot!
Let me get out of the way here.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So I used to be in theater, and that was one of the props that we made for one of the plays.
Like some kind of like a broadcast show. Okay, everyone's got to applaud. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I I cannot remember the name of it because I wasn't actually in it, but I side directed. I helped like.
So you're like producing.
That's pretty much like the gopher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a side producer. Yeah.
Production assistant.
And,
That's dope.
Yeah, something like that. I'm terrible with like what are they called? Like labels and stuff like that. I don't know.
And
I
then
just
what's
did
this
the job
like
they
little?
told me to do.
Is that a Mushu I'm looking at there?
Oh, did I tilt it that far? Yeah.
This was an accident. I didn't mean to reveal
This wasn't
Mushu.
supposed to happen.
It's out. Cat's out the bag now, man. Kyle Shipwash has a Mushi plushie. That's dope.
Yeah, so I won that.
You won this.
I won that. It's third place in like a drawing at Harris Teeter.
Oh wow, very cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Harris Teeter. Yeah, for those of you that are unindoctrinated in Florida, there are other grocery stores besides Publix. Amazing! I can't believe it. This one's called Harris Teeter, and it's in North Carolina. No, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I think Kroger bought Harris Teeter at the end of the day, right? Something like that.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Kroger's
I don't know.
another
Harris.
public or grocery store, Floridians. I swear. It's only
Harris
Publix
Teeter, I
Kroger.
think actually started in Charlotte. I think it actually started in Plaza Midwood.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it was a North Carolina thing, but I wasn't sure exactly where it started.
Yeah,
Let me see here.
and
So,
I've never fact checked this, but I went past a guy one time and he's like, "Hey, that's like the first Harris Teeter ever," and
Oh.
I lived like 2 blocks from it.
Oh, dope. So okay. Favorite grocery store? I mean, would you say you have an allegiance to Harris Teeter? Is that like the best grocery store you've been to?
I mean, no, it's actually a little bit more expensive than like Food Lion.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Food Lion is kind of like
but it's so
like Giant in Maryland, or like maybe Winn-Dixie down here. It's pretty dope.
yeah.
And then let's see, caution tape.
Food
That's a
Lion-
staple of the the development years. There's a danger sign up there. I saw that's also a staple. I feel like everyone at least
Yeah,
had
the
some kind
caution
of a
tape fell
danger.
down.
Keep out, And then what are these photos you got on the left side wall here? See 3 dudes standing. That's a young Shipwash and your buds.
Over here?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah. I'll bring you over there. This is why I connected with my laptop.
Oh, prepared. I like this.
That's the old Blink-182.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The old school.
So pretty much all of these posters came from what is that? There was a magazine, Power.
Nintendo Power?
What is it called? Is it Nintendo Power?
Well, I see you've got some. Is that oh geez, Mortal Kombat, but is that Star Fox Adventures? No. That's Star
Down
Fox.
here? That's the Star Fox.
Yeah, no, that's Star Fox for Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Dope. Yeah, it had to have been Nintendo Power. Nintendo didn't really put any other stuff in there.
Nintendo Power. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Spider-Man, the Toy Soldiers. Yeah, Earthworm Jim. This is wild. This is like a memory trip just into a bunch of games that I wish I played.
Yeah. I played most of them too.
That's crazy. Yeah, we
Except
talked
for
about
like
that.
the Toy Soldiers.
You said you were playing a lot of. So you're growing up. What systems you got? You're playing a bunch of games. What's like your go-tos from back in the day? Everyone's making like their top 5. What would you say is yours?
Yeah. I mean, mine was all Nintendo. That's all I ever had was Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64.
Yeah, I'm a Nintendo boy.
Had GameCubes, stuff like that. So I'm a Nintendo boy.
Nintendo's where it's at. Nintendo's funny because no
Yeah.
matter like what your parents think you have, they know you have a Nintendo. Like it could be an Xbox, but no, it's a Nintendo.
Yeah. So I guess most of mine, especially whenever I was a teenager, were like the 64s, like Star Fox 64, Mario 64, Ocarina of Time.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, Star Fox.
Tetris has always been a staple.
The 64 one was
Oh,
like
go ahead.
one of the cooler ones too, I think. The Tetris on 64. Was it Tetris
Yeah,
Attack,
yeah.
I think?
I never actually played that one. I didn't like whenever they got like ultra fancy and did like the spheres and all that other stuff. That was just too
Oh
much.
god, yeah, man. Classic Tetris.
Classic Tetris.
That is insane. Very cool.
We got Space Jam.
The GOAT. I wonder if they're ever gonna make Space Jam 2. Then what is that? X-Files over there?
X-Files.
So you're definitely a Spider-Man fan, at least. Oh wait, I see
Yeah.
some SpongeBob poking out now. I see some SpongeBob season 1 through 3 poking out of there. This is crazy. This is kind of like a this is like a derivative of, because I know you're doing the Cribs show. It's kind of like we're doing a little Cribs right now.
Oh yeah.
How's that been going anyway?
A little sample. It's going really well. I've got a list of people, and I just kind of like, I don't know, I'll ask them a day or two before, hey, you want to do this? Somebody will be like, no, I can't. And okay, cool, that's fine. I'll just go to the next person.
That's dope. That's wild. I think it's funny because like now everyone's bored. Like no one can do anything. So they have the Killer Quarantine TV. Bumblebear's doing stuff. Belly is doing stuff. Like everyone's trying to do some kind of thing. I saw the Animal Crossing when that was going around. And you didn't get on the Animal Crossing train, right? Because you don't have a Switch.
I don't have a Switch, so I do have. I went all the way up to what is it? The Wii U. And I stopped there, so I have everything from old Nintendo all the way up to Wii U.
That's crazy. What a sad place to stop.
And now I'm a PC boy.
Yeah, okay. PC. Are you playing any? What are you playing on PC?
Well, one of the games I've always kind of wanted to play was Fortnite.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was always afraid of the learning curve, especially for building.
Dude, it's super high. Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yeah, it's just a weird mechanic.
It's like it's feasible on PC though, right? Like I tried it on console, like on PS4, impossible. Like you just get wrecked.
Yeah, they do have some mechanics that are different because consoles, especially with joystick, they do have some disadvantages. So they have like Pro Builder, where it'll try to build automatically as you change from one item to the other. So it does kind of help you a little bit.
Huh.
But I still feel like the PC people have a little bit more advantage.
Yeah, typically in any kind of shooter. And that's like, from what I can remember, Fortnite's third person. I mean, you can switch it to first person, but it's third person default. So,
yeah.
Like, my brain can do one of two things. I can either build stuff, or I can shoot stuff. So when I have to do both, I just, I hit all of the wrong buttons. I'm trying to shoot, and I'm building a staircase, and I'm trying to build a staircase, and I'm using my hammer, and it's like, okay, this is not good for me. But then you hear the stories, right, of like, geez, so many. I don't even know their names. Just like literal 14-year-olds making bank, playing Fortnite, wrecking everybody. And I'm just like, where was this when we were playing GoldenEye? Like, why didn't we have esports in 1990? Then maybe we would make some money. We'd make like $1,000. We'd be rich.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. That's really crazy. And I see you got the Queen's Gone Wild shirt. Respect to the OG.
Yeah, I put that on for y'all.
Right. Respect.
Oh, yeah. Also, I got another thing. I wanted to show off my hair a little bit.
You got
cut my hair again.
Right? You gotta show it off a little bit.
Dystopian haircut. Got that undercut.
That's crazy. Yeah, the side going on. Oh! Hey, Joe, it's the hat. It's the hat, Joe. He's wearing it. He's wearing the hat, you said.
I told him, so before COVID happened, I told him I would wear it on all the streams whenever I went to tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the COVID stuff happened, so I'm not on stream as much as I was hoping to be, but I'm still representing it.
That's hilarious.
When I can.
Joe is going to lose his mind. Well, I'm going to tell Dwight when I see him tomorrow, too. You're wearing the hat. That's like one of the like special editions ones, too, because your bill is a little bit different. It's like got the floral print.
So when I came to Queen's Gone Wild, the first one, you guys had some like corkboard looking ones, which were really cool looking.
Oh yeah, the corkboard ones. Yeah, those are the they had some special edition corks.
I really liked that one. I really liked that one. But then I came to this one and I saw this one had animals, and Amar was hyping it up, and he's like, "Look at this! Look how cool these animals are!" And I had like 1 or 2 snake venoms by that time, maybe 3, and I was like. Yeah, animals are cool.
Dude, you get 3 snake venoms in you and you're still alive. You're probably gonna buy some stuff and then wonder what the hell was I doing. Queen's Gone Wild was really cool, man. It's cool because like one, you've been to both of those, right? And I mean, obviously South Florida. I think for our play style, we were told very early on, like, here's how the rest of the scene plays. New York plays like this, calm, cool, controlled. Chicago plays like this, wild and crazy and whatever. And then there's Kyle Shipwash. Kyle's a monster, and Kyle just does Kyle things. And then like we just kept hearing like the legend of Kyle, I want to call it, with different moves and people referencing things you would do, the drip wash, and this, and just where do all of these things, like, where did this ascension come from? Like, where did you get to the point where you were just known for being this guy that's gonna do some wild shit?
Jeez. So I didn't know it was gonna be this kind of an interview. This is interesting.
Welcome to the Lady
So-
G.
Yeah. So it was actually kind of cool because whenever I first started, Chicago and New York were like the top tier, and so I guess Chicago, New York, and Portland were like top tier.
Right, yeah, Portland.
Yeah, because they had already had the cab for like 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. But I remember one day I was playing, and I started realizing that it didn't matter which side of the cab I was on or who I was playing with. I kind of was picking up the game faster than other people. And then it made it even more apparent whenever Jorge one day was like, he's like, Kyle's gonna be like one of the best queens here.
Jorge gave you the early endorsement.
Yeah, so me and my competitive nature, I was just like, oh man. So then I started like showing up to Abari like every day and just grinding. And I think one of the things that really helped me out a lot was I used to play Left 4 Dead a lot. Like I have like several thousand hours. Well, I shouldn't say several, like 2,000-ish hours on Left 4 Dead, which
I mean,
is
that's
like
still a lot. Like,
yeah.
it's a lot of hours.
So Left 4 Dead really got me into this whole mindset of time as a resource, and you need to understand what each objective. I don't want to say objective because objective means something in Killer Queen.
Right. But I mean, I get you.
What each goal unit takes as far as the resources it needs, which is time usually. That and then communication, strong communication. Those two things combined really can help you organize yourself and a team.
It's really funny because when you say it like that, like if I didn't know what we were talking about, I would kind of naturally assume that you were talking about Killer Queen. I mean, those are like the two things, like time it takes to get to places, time it takes to get to gates, to tag things, to put berries, to do snail, and then communication around doing those things. So you picked up kind of a lot of these things instinctively from just having so many hours logged into Left 4 Dead. And then who are you playing Left 4 Dead with? Like, you obviously you got to have 3 teammates, so.
Mostly random people. I did have a few sort of friends
queuing
that,
in there?
Yeah, I really didn't know a lot of people because I was playing it through Steam and I was just like picking up people every now and then.
Okay.
I did get
Holy hell.
I did get sort of a. Are we doing something?
Oh no, you're good.
I did get sort of a best friend through there, a Steam best friend. His name was Hot Pocket.
What a Steam name. Such a Steam name.
But it was so funny because, it's so funny because Hot Pocket would never say anything through the mic. He would always type out everything, and he would type out all of his comms, all of his jokes, and it's during times when it's like, super critical, and he's making a joke, like typing it up, and still like outplaying me.
What the hell?
And I felt so ashamed to just like play with him sometimes because I'm like, damn, I could never be you.
Just miles ahead of the game typing. It's like those guys that are like beating you in a fighting game and they're on the phone with their girlfriend and they're like, you're just like hitting all the buttons like, why the hell isn't this working? It's like, yeah, no, I'm just kicking this noob's ass. I'll be home after. You want to get food or something? Like, It's like even worse if they're like having a serious conversation. It's like, oh my God, the mental energy. It's crazy. But that's wild. So Left 4 Dead. Aaron Bobby, I think, when he was on last, he was talking to Left 4 Dead and we talked about some of the World War Z game, and I wanted to play some of that with you, hon. I don't know what it's on. Hopefully it's on PS4. I don't know. But that's been cool. So Left 4 Dead, what other types of competitive games were you doing? Like mainly FPS? Because I'm hearing Fortnite, Left 4 Dead, that's first person. Were you doing like any Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty?
I didn't like. No. I didn't like Halo because it was too open.
Yeah, I get that.
Too open. I didn't like that.
I get that. Counter-Strike then, maybe? Counter-Strike?
No, never got into that either. I was playing, again, Tetris was the other strategy-ish game that I was doing.
Right.
Because me and my friends used to stay up all night playing Tetris Versus. All night.
Oh, damn. Hell yeah.
And then the other game that we would play up all night is Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Oh yeah, man. Yep. The GOAT.
Which that kind of ties back into Killer Queen because it's all about spacing.
You know, you're absolutely right. I'm hearing you. I'm reminded. Damish is from South Florida. I don't know how exactly we got to talking. Because I remember like early on, it's like, oh, Damish, Cody, like these names are like, oh my god, these are the best queens, blah, blah, blah. But he would tell me, like, from watching me play or coming down to Florida, like visit for the holidays or something, he would see and he would say, your spacing is really good. Yeah. And he was always talking about that, and every time you say the word spacing, that like triggers the Smash part of your brain because that's such a huge concept. So, who are you playing with in Melee, Marth, or one of the spacers?
Oh, do I have to tell you?
You have to. You brought it up.
I usually keep it quiet.
Oh.
I keep it quiet. No, because like every time that I meet somebody that's like, oh, I'm really good at Smash, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I'm not gonna play my main character. They're like, what's your main character? I was like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I could like, I could lull them down.
Smash is like Dragon Ball Z. Everybody starts at like base level, and then you just keep going up until you get to final form. It's funny.
But I only ever play Pikachu, Marth, Mario, or Link.
That's a good spread because all of those characters, at least 2 of them, have achieved results. So
yeah,
that's a pretty good spread, I would say. Have you continued any Smash outside of Melee, or are you one of those guys that's like, no, Melee was the best, I'm done?
So whenever they came out with Project M for what was that one?
Wii. Yeah, that was the brawl
Wii.
hack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I installed that and got that going, and me and my friends got back on that. So that was really fun to kind of have that sort of Melee mechanic, but with new characters.
Did you get into competitive Smash during Melee, or did you pick that up after Project M?
So I never actually got what I would say competitive. It was more social competitive. Like I would just play with my friends, and my friends weren't really that competitive. So I was the most competitive out of my friends. So I hit a ceiling because I didn't have any more competition. Right. And that's just all it ever really was for me.
That's really interesting. We'll come back to that idea a little bit later. For me, I played Melee, but like purely casually. I went from Smash 64 as just like, yay, cool game I can rent for 3 days, play with my brothers because we're too poor to afford it. And then we actually bought it one time. And then I got banned from playing because I would get too mad when I lost. So I'm pretty sure my dad was like, nope, not playing this game anymore. It's going to break up my family. Then Melee came out, and it was just like, man, Melee was so cool. Like, the opening movie with the whole, like, that hit when Mario's little trophy goes out in the Coliseum, and then it cuts to black and shows the little words on the screen that comes back, and it's just the choir, and he's, like, electrified. And, dude, it blew me away. And I just played the hell out of that, but for fun mainly. So then Brawl came out. And Brawl launched, I don't know if you remember this, with a tournament that was ran by GameStop. And they were like, okay, we're running a tournament, and, you know, first day of launch is tournament. And I was in college at the time, and a buddy of mine was working at Best Buy. Old roommate buddy of mine, Ryan Frazier, still friends to this day. He's working at Best Buy, and I'd like, dude, Ryan, you got to get me a copy of Smash Bros. Brawl early so I can, like, practice for that damn tournament, dude. I'm trying to do some work. Got to get in the lab. She's like, all right, got you. Everyone's like leaking stuff. Somehow Ryan came through and got me I don't know how he did this. He got me an early copy of the game. So I'm in there, and the trick was it was going to be random. Like, your character selection was going to be random in the tournament. So I'm just like labbing, trying to play with as many people as I can. Day of the tournament comes. I think I'm pretty prepared. And then I get fucking Pit. And out of all the characters I'd played, I never played Pit because I didn't know what game he was from. So I'm like, oh, Angel Boy, I don't know what the fuck that is. Let me go play all these other guys I know. And then I got Pit, and I just couldn't do anything. I got wrecked by a Mario like in round 1. I was so pissed. Had the game like for a week before everyone else, and then lose round 1. It was so sad, man. But yeah, Project M, that was very cool. I came up and played some competitive. Project M, I was playing with Zero Suit Samus a lot. Were you still playing like Link and Marth and all those guys in Project M too, or you got other people?
Yeah, I started branching out a little bit more. I started playing the Pokemon trainer.
Oh yeah, Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because that was really fun.
they were
be
like
able to
all separate
switch.
characters, I think, that time, right?
Hmm
Yeah, yeah, because
And
people didn't like
actually,
the whole thing.
I still continued with Mario. Oh,
Go ahead, Mario.
you're lagging on my side. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a little delay. It's weird.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like I keep talking over you. So if I do that, it's because there's like some sort of glitch.
Oh, it's good. It's good. That's broadcast, baby. It's good. But you were playing with Mario a little bit, doing some of that. Let's see. So that's Project M, and then Wii U was Smash 4.
I haven't even touched it.
Oh, hot damn. So Project M, that was the last hurrah. Okay.
Project M was it.
Not bad. That's crazy. So, okay, Left 4 Dead, Smash Bros. In terms of like the one-on-one type ceiling, and then translating some of that stuff into Killer Queen. It kind of makes sense to me a little bit now, kind of some of the things I've garnered about you in terms of your Queen play and your Queen style. So I think the styling and the ISOs and the 101, that is like Smash Bros. Kyle, because that's all the spacing and the mind games and the neutral and like figuring out those micro transactions. And then team leader Kyle is playing Left 4 Dead in his mind, where everything is time, resources, units, communication. Because I'll see you like talking to your team before, after games, during games, getting very sweaty while you do it, and just like figuring that out as you go along, right? Is that like kind of accurate, would you say?
That's pretty good, yeah, because I think that those are the two biggest influences for me playing Killer Queen, and sort of already having those skills honed before I even got on the cab.
That is so crazy. Like, I haven't really thought of the concept of other games leading into Killer Queen, because it's such a unique game, right? Like, we don't even, like, people, oh, it's Mario Brothers and Joust. Like, nobody even plays those fucking games. Like, I don't know the last time I played Joust. Like, I played Balloon Fight, but, you know, no one plays that either. So that's interesting. So, okay, let's...
I never played that.
Balloon Fight, really? Oh, I think you like Balloon Fight.
I never played that.
It's kind of janky, but, you know, it was an NES game, so... It's old school. It was one of the ones that Iwata programmed. It was one of his. So definitely try it out if you get a chance. Yeah. So let me back up a little bit and try to figure out within Charlotte, right? Charlotte, I think currently, or you know, a couple months ago, whatever you want to say, from what I can understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Charlotte has a very competitive scene. It's a smaller scene from what I hear, but it's competitive. And the top queens in there are basically you, in no particular order. You, John K. I would lump Jordan into there from some conversations I've heard from him. And then I don't really know anybody else. I know Amara Queen sometimes, but he's more on the side of like fun, and he doesn't get super competitive about it, which is good, I think. But it's kind of like you three. What's been the progression of like the Queen, I guess, hierarchy over there? You know what I mean?
Well, then you also have Joe and Dylan. They've been working on it.
Okay.
And then our top girl queen is probably Cheyenne as of right now. But honorable mention is Courtney, because they're both grinding pretty hard to be
Courtney.
the top girl queen.
Courtney plays a lot with Jordan, does she not? I recognize that name.
They all kind of mix around. Like Charlotte's very, very fluid with their teams. Like we outside of what was it, Bumble Bash 2, people started to lock into a team. Like you had loud barking noises. That's when you had Bonus Snap, and some of the other people that kind of locked in. You had what was it? Queen's Revenge.
Yeah.
That's when we actually had our solid teams that really like stayed together. Now everybody's kind of like fluid, and they just kind of like move around a bit more.
What do you think about that? Are you kind of a proponent and fan of folks locking in and sticking together? Because there's an argument to be made for that, right? Like the more you play with people, the more in the hive mind you can get, the more strategy and dependability you can kind of garner around people. But, you know, it crumbles really quickly if one person can't go to a tournament or whatnot. So sometimes the coordination is hard. But if you had to pick a style between kind of free flow, every man for himself, everyone for himself, or locking into a team, what would you prefer to have?
If I had my ultimate, like, I guess layout or format, I personally would like for a solid team that says, hey, we're going to play together on these 2 or 3, maybe 4 majors. This is what we're going to do. we've already decided our year for these 4 tournaments.
Mm.
Outside of that, we do whatever. And because as I've noticed and as I've played, it's nice to have a team that's always together, but when you do that, you become stale, you become stagnant. You start depending on other people too much, you start taking on too much responsibility. You know, it just kind of like the adaptability goes down.
That's interesting.
So moving around and playing other positions, playing with other people keeps you fresh, keeps you dynamic, keeps you a little bit more sharp and durable.
I do agree with that standpoint, like quite a lot. And honestly, kind of what you're describing, that sounds a lot like our team, arguably, because we started this year. Well, we were going to start this year, planning a couple tournaments to go to. And the guys, we don't travel a lot. Like I think this year we were going to try to do Chicago, and then we were going to do Bumble Bash, obviously. And then we did Queens Gone Wild. So, you know, that was fun. That was a good one. But like basically those 3. So, and that's interesting. I think what you're talking about in terms of like getting stale and that type of thing, 100%. It's like you have to like, it's like traveling. Like you can't be cultured and like well-rounded if you only live in Kansas your entire life. Like, you know, no knock to Kansas. I bet Kansas is great. I don't know. Maybe Kansas is trash. I don't know. What do they do in Kansas? Is anyone in Kansas? Is there a KQ Kansas? There's a scene.
I like the Kansas people. Yeah, they're
cool.
They're pretty good. I feel like they're very small, very very small.
Oh, they exist.
So they don't have a lot of.
Oh, I thought you were kidding.
Competition.
I didn't know Kansas was real. That's cool. KQ Kansas, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Don't spit in my food.
Kansas City, yeah.
Very cool. So, getting into that, like you have to move around and then you can take things and kind of pull stuff up. What would you say? Because obviously you played bonus nap for a long time. I want to say like that was a team that in Florida we knew you were queening that. Mm-hmm. We knew that was a monster team. There was a year where you guys just like went and annihilated like everything, at least from what we could tell. And then a little while after that, you guys had split up that team, and then you began kind of queening. You know, and just kind of like traveling and then putting together teams and kind of doing new teams every time. I remember there was a team. Geez, was that the Queens Gone Wild team? It was like the name was JK Unless. Right? That was Queens Gone Wild.
Queens Gone Wild was Bonus Salt.
No, the second one. Bonus Salt was the first time, but the second time you came, it was JK Unless.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, what was it? Bumble Bash. What was the team name then? It was something else along that line.
Bumble Bash. Just Practicing.
Yeah, Just Practicing. Yeah, so now it's like these things where it's like it's like in the team name, you know what I mean? So talk to me about when that transition happened, from playing bonus nap to then kind of doing this like nomad building a team, build a team type thing.
Yeah. So I think after, because even when we were bonus snap, we were always like, okay, if there's 3 of us playing, we can use the bonus name. Outside of that, we're not going to use the bonus name.
Oh, I see.
So that's kind of the rule that we all followed, we all agreed on, and that's just always been honored. So that's why whenever we separated and then I started kind of going off and doing my own thing, I was like, cool, now I can get like super creative and I can have these like weird names,
right,
like Daddy Mayo and Long Daddy Tentacles and like Daddy's Feet, you know, these weird things that were just fun to like hear the other announcers say.
Right.
I even had a team called Nyom.
Everyone's trying to understand, how do you pronounce this? Is it Nom? No. That's hilarious. What?
Yeah.
So what? You're a meme lord, right? This is well known. It's you, a couple other people in the scene, but you are well known to be a meme lord. We have one that's like kind of. It reminds me of you. His name is Will Kushan. I don't know if you guys have met yet, or if you know you've met. But
I know Will. Yeah,
you know Will. Okay, great. So Will is basically our meme lord. And a lot of the same, you guys will put up sometimes the same memes, and I'll see it on Facebook, and it's like, which one do you want to like? It's like a little competition. What's with the? What is with the feet though?
So there was actually a meme. I'll describe it to you. It's probably gonna sound terrible when I describe it because
Always
it's not
does.
gonna have the same oomph. But there was a meme I saw where there was they were the Teletubbies, and each Teletubby put his hand into the center,
Oh
and
God.
as he put his hand into the center, it would say, boob guys, butt guys, hair guys, eye guys, and then this final one comes in, and then it says feet. And then the next comic panel over, they just kind of like look at him,
Oh.
like, dude, nah.
No. No one.
So
wants
ultimately,
this.
I guess it's kind of a kink shaming thing, which is kind of bad. Like I don't support that, but also at the same time, I would get into these like the picture chats for
Right.
Killer
Oh
Queen.
yeah.
And then just to get a rile out of people, I'd just post a feet, and then people would just go berserk.
Well, some of them are
And I'm
like
not gonna
really
say-
crazy, right? Like I saw one. I feel like you posted recently where it's like it's either somebody. Oh, I know exactly what it is. Yeah, I remember. So it's a person dunking Oreos into milk
Oh yeah, that's the recent one. Yeah.
with a cookie in between their big toe and the toe next
Yep.
to the big toe. I don't know what that one's called.
I don't think it has a name. It just is.
Right, just toe. Like I gotta be careful on my screen if I'm ever scrolling down. Like there could be a Kyle Shipwash feet land bomb in there somewhere, and you never know when it's coming. Definitely keeps the feed interesting at least. And then Heather Browning picked
Yeah.
up on this, and you guys like for a little time there were just like ping ponging feet memes and these just ruining everything. It was hilarious. Any words to her because she's watching? I guarantee it.
Yeah. I ping pong feet with her, and then I ping pong beans with Andy Labor.
Oh, that's what the beans came from. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even remember how the beans started. It was just kind of like, I don't know. Became a thing.
What would you say has been like your, maybe it's feet, but like what's your favorite string of memes? Because you kind of meme in a theme. Like you're a serial memer.
I guess I do. Yeah. I don't know. I just go by feel. I meme by feel. Comes from the heart. I don't know.
Go with what's trending. Just kind of read the room.
Yeah, actually, in the earlier days of the internet, I felt like I had this weird sense of, or maybe I'm just so basic that I understand popular culture humor,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just be like, this is gonna go viral. This is happening.
Right.
Like I would see it first, I'm like, it's going to, and then 2 or 3 days later, everyone's sharing it, and I was
Right.
like, boom, called it.
That's insane. That's crazy. That's wild.
Like
man.
I remember when what does the fox say came out.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That came out, and I was telling my friends, I was like, this is gonna be a hit, and they're all like, I've never even seen this, and I was like, just wait. 2 days later, everybody's whatever fucking noise it was.
Yeah. Wife. No one knows. Wife remembers. That was funny. No, I love that video. It's just like, it was so stupid. It was just. It
Yeah.
was like a currency of stupidity where like if you have just the right amount, it's gonna be funny no matter what.
But now meme trends come and go so fast. Like it's not the same as it used to be like 3 years ago.
It's
It's not even the same as it was like a year ago.
You're like a meme historian. You're like following the trends and the data of the memes. Like meme
Yeah,
archives.
because like a meme trend will now last about a week, and then it's on to something new.
I am learning so much. If any meme questions I ever have, I'm going to call you. This is wild. So those are some of the things that I've seen on there. I'm admittedly not super great at memes. I'm like the type of guy that likes to recycle one really good tried and true meme often. So like
Yeah.
I'll use the Mr. Burns excellent meme where it's just him doing like the little thing with his fingers. I'll do it. I'll share that type of stuff with my staff. They'll be like, "Hey, this project is done," and I'll just throw Mr. Burns up. Like that's kind of how I use it. So it's good like that. It's funny. So let's see. Quarantine, you're home. Obviously, you haven't been playing much Killer Queen. But we've got like a little backlog of shows, a backlog of things that are happening. People are putting content up. What types of things, I guess, other than KQ Cribs, which you're doing, have you been watching other people do? Because you're producing shows, so like you're watching other things. Like what's been kind of entertaining for you to see?
Oh man. Okay, so this is I'm exposing myself. I don't I don't really watch much shows. I don't really like I don't know. I feel like it's too passive for me. I have to be actively doing a thing.
Yeah.
So that's why games are like high on my list. Then like movies and cartoons and shows and stuff are a little bit lower because you're not interacting with it.
Oh man, I feel the same way. This is what I try to explain to you. I tell you this all the time. I'm pointing at my wife right. Like her family, they can watch like 50 movies back to back.
Oh,
back to
no,
back.
no.
I lose my mind. I literally want to just go jump out of the house. It's crazy. I'm like, I have to, because it's like you said, you have to engage your brain into something. So if you're playing a game, you have to think about what you're doing. You have to like tell your brain to input commands to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't like fall asleep. You can't like disengage. You can't be on your phone. And then also you have to be engaged. So I'm the same way. Like I got to have something to do. That's why I like Killer Queen so much, because it's like every game demands 100% of your attention, and you have to look at everything and think of everything. And every game has a slightly different outcome than the last game. When I was interviewing Malloy, I asked him, like, what's the thing that keeps you playing the game? Which is interesting, too, for you guys, because you guys have been playing for years, like, just long-ass time. But his answer was really good. He said, the chance of the next game being a really good game is what keeps him. 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
What would you say over that course of 4 years, like, literally keeps you not only playing, but, like I feel, maybe you don't, I don't know, but, like, I feel you're still basically, like, at the top of your game. Like, you haven't hit a decline. So, like, why do you keep playing?
So, the way that the game is designed, it's the skill stealing has been, because I started whenever it was, like, really, really old. That was before they had easy hover. That was when you still had corner kills. That was when
What's a corner kill too, just for the new scenes like ours that don't
Oh,
know?
please tell me. Yeah, I love telling about corner kills. I want them to come back. Like it was such a cool mechanic. So a corner kill was when two queens would be in a corner.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do it like on my screen here.
Okay, I see.
So there's queen over here. The queen that's in the corner would have an advantage because she's in the corner. She can't get knocked back.
Right.
But the queen that's coming up now, it was very, very, very buggy. Very, very buggy. There was actually I'm gonna simplify the rules a bit.
Okay.
Than what they actually were. But the queen in the corner would have priority because she couldn't get knocked back. Then the next queen would engage, and she would agree to do this corner battle, which it pretty much ended up being a who could tap faster.
Right.
Now, since you're already in the corner, you do have an advantage because you can't get knocked back, so you're going to get pushed up and over. But if you can out-tap the other queen, you can kill the queen in the corner.
Oh. So every time you get pushed back into the corner, you move up slightly.
When you're in the corner, yeah, because you can't get pushed back, you had priority. Now, the other queen would usually bounce 2 or 3 times and then try to out-tap you and then go over. And then there was some other timing things, because it was super buggy, because it wasn't actually designed to be a mechanic. It was just a imminent property of the, I think it was box 2D, the old version. That's the physics engine that they had. It was just an imminent property of that. And so that's where like the Bobby gun came out, because whenever I started my rise of being, of training and being better and trying to be one of the top queens in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Bobby Hutter, you know who he is, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, my buddy Bobby Hutter. Okay, I always talk about the Bobby gun because he did this weird thing, and it works so much better on the old cabs. The new cabs doesn't work as good because the spacing and the sensitivity of the button is different on the raw thrill cab versus the original. But everyone had different taps. There's like the little like 3-finger trot. There's the single tap. There's the swipe, which they at that time they were calling it the Kansas City swipe because all the Kansas City boys were doing it. And then and then all of a sudden Bobby, who I'd never seen anybody else do this, Bobby comes up and he uses his pointer finger. Here, let me get up here in the camera. He uses pointer finger and his ring finger but they come up kind of like this, and he uses his middle finger as a spacer, and he would slide it back and forth across the button. Yeah, so you're actually hitting the button twice because you're clipping it with the left finger and you're clipping it with the right finger. You never actually pass completely over the button, like say the button's here, and you would just touch, and you do that really fast.
Oh.
And anyways, Bobby would kill me if I was in the corner. When I thought that I had priority, he would just bowl me over. Wouldn't even bounce off me once. Just destroy.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was so, I guess, competitive and tenacious about it that I was like, no, I'm gonna try to figure out how to beat this guy.
Right. That's crazy.
And so that's why I started to learn the bobby gun, and that's also why I was able to, especially in the last Bumble Bash, I got the fastest tap.
Oh yeah, I remember they had that
like
that contest. Yeah, the fastest tapper. So you were employing the bobby gun strategy.
I was using the bobby gun, but it's a bit different now because like the old one you could use just your middle finger as a spacer.
Yeah.
Now you have to use 2 fingers as a spacer.
Oh, that's what you're saying. The distance is a little bit bigger. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different, and it's a little bit more difficult to do because I guess if we want to break it down, do you want me to keep going? I can really go into depth.
Dude, okay. I'm digging. I'm digging with you. This is really cool tech.
My understanding of it is when you're doing the swipe, say this is the button, my finger here's the button. When you're doing the swipe, you have nothing to really keep your fingers from like losing the spacing.
Right. Because
frequency matters. And if you see, even as I do this, it might be hard to see over the camera, but my finger can't really hold its space.
Right.
Like I'm pushing it up against the other one.
Right.
And then again, it happens here, and again, it happens here.
Mm-hmm.
But with the bobby gun, once you get, because you're 1, curling your fingers, and 2, you're using an actual physical spacer, so you're just like pretty much pinching on that.
Mm-hmm.
Your frequency doesn't change.
That's wild. It's like, is this still the dumb B game that we're talking about, and we're developing all of these high-tech...
Still the dumb B game, yeah.
I think, like, I always wonder, like, how people figure things out, right? Like, who figured out if we do this trajectory and put this thing here that, like, okay, that's the Pythagorean theorem, or, like, whatever. Now it's like, I figured out that if I space my fingers out this way, and then I pick up the frequency, like, are we talking about arcade games, or is this, like, all of a sudden, you know, splitting atoms and cells? This is crazy. It's a really high level of kind of tech and stuff. But that's really interesting because it kind of shows, like in my mind, that's what the best players do, right? Like you take a very simple concept and you break Smash Bros. I mean, how many people have taken Smash Bros, the fighting party game, you know, that's like not respected in the real FGC community, and have figured out wave dashing and spacing and canceling and, you know, all of this stuff to optimize the tactics that they are using around these buttons on the controller and the different styles and the claw jump, and like it's insane what people can figure out. So I feel like the best players are always kind of pushing the gamut to say, what else can I do? How else can I understand this in a way that's going to make it easier for me? How can I translate that into being more consistent, easier for me to do and to pull off? I can think about the triple tap, for example, and like there's a moment where even me, like when I'm triple tapping, I'll miss one, and I'm like, why did I miss one? I feel like I'm doing it the same way, and it's just either you literally just missed the button, or you did it too fast and you like popped up and bounced off, or like some other inconsistency has happened. So I'm always trying to figure out, how can I get this when I know I want to do it? I'm going to do it exactly the way I want to, you know? Like what type of quirks have you kind of figured out in terms of your play to get your tech locked in to your particular style? There's like a couple different moves I feel like that you've literally worked out. You got me on one of them real bad in Queens Go Wild, which those games, God, I feel like I played like shit. Richard saved that game. Richard was the guy. Richard saved that game for us. But you do your move on day map where you go straight down in the dive to like the middle of the map, pop back up, go over the gate in a dive, and then the queen that's taken that bait is just dead immediately from that point, because they think you're going to the other gate, and it's a huge mind game. It only works like a couple times, but that couple times it works, it's very effective. It's like, how do you take yourself through the paces of figuring that stuff out?
it's so fun when you're playing sloppy games and like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna get a queen kill off of 5 seconds, like right off the start, and I'll count it down and I'll do that. And actually Jorge actually coined it for me. He called it the dip, where you go down and then you wait right there, and then you pop up as soon as she goes to dive the middle gate. But sometimes, especially during sloppy sets, you can sit there and you can literally count 5, 4, 3, 2, bam. And then everyone in the cab goes crazy because, you know, we're all having fun and just like, you know, goofing around.
The countdowns are always fun. We had one legendary countdown, me and my teammate JP. It was an unblockable. JP always loves to call the unblockable, which I guess, you know, the stench for the New York folks. But he counted one down one time. I think we were playing against Laser Wolf at the time or something, but he counted it down. It's out of nowhere. Like, it shouldn't happen. No one is ready for it, but it happens. And you just lose your mind. It's like, oh my God, it's wild. It's insane. So tech-wise,
see, you've asked me several questions and we've gone on a bunch of tangents, but I wanted to go back to one where you were asking what still keeps me interested in the game.
Yeah, why are you still playing?
I didn't know or realize how much you can read about someone else or about a whole entire team from just the way they're moving around the map. Because, like, I guess if you say, like, you have like a first-person shooter, there's a lot of information you can tell from a player based on whether they're jumping, they're crouching, what direction they're pointing. You know, you can figure out what target they're looking at, whether they're actually looking for something, whether they're actually, like, you know, digging around looking for items, things like that. In Killer Queen, your character is either facing left or right, and they're either falling or going up.
Right.
Really is kind of what it comes down to. But I didn't realize how much emotion and how much mind reading you can do from those few directions that you're given.
So, like, the ability to kind of read into your opponents, like, that's the fun. That's like the thing that's the cool challenge.
It's
for
fun.
You. Yeah. That's interesting.
To figure out what they're thinking, get in their head, and then read a few steps ahead of what they're gonna do, so that you can be there to counter it.
Okay, so give me an example here. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Pick a team you've played, any tournament. Gotta be somebody, and then you have to lay this out where you kind of get this read, and your read was correct.
Okay. The one that comes immediately, and I'm sorry, do I have to say names? Do I have to say names? Because I don't know the team name. I just know the queen name.
You gotta say names. We gotta know.
I gotta what?
We gotta know. You gotta say names.
All right. So, it was a Chicago tournament, and it was whenever, I think it was one of my first 3 travels to Chicago, and Hugo was queening, and I knew he was gonna go through this rap. I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming, and you can even hear it on the stream. I've clipped it for myself because it's kind of a fun moment.
Yeah.
You can hear me go, "Hey, girl," and then boom, he dies. I knew it was coming. I could read it, and even Aaron Goldberg. You hear Aaron Goldberg on the other side as he's commentating. He goes, "Did you just hear that?" And the other guy goes, "What?" He's like, "He just said, 'Hey, girl,' as he went through the rap because he knew he was gonna get that kill."
The reads, man. The reads are so good.
The reads.
I've been trying to get people to, especially the rap. What map was that you were on? Was it Dust Map? I'm assuming.
Yeah, real quick. I love you, Hugo. If you're watching. Also, it was Dust Map. It was Dust Map before they updated it.
Oh, okay. Right, but they had so it was Dust Map before they had that little gap in between.
Yeah, and actually at the time I was choosing Dusk Map because I was with an all Charlotte team because in the beginning I was like, I'm only gonna play with Charlotte because I want Charlotte to do better, and, like, you know, if I go off and play with these other teams, these other scenes, I'm gonna help them, I'm gonna learn from them, but also, like, my scene's going to suffer.
Right.
So I made a personal rule to myself for the first 2 years to only play with Charlotte teams.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I wanted my scene to do better. I wanted us to grow together. So what we did as far as our strategy whenever Dust Map came out was we would only choose Dust Map because everyone else had so many more years and so many more hours on day and night that playing Dusk for us brought them down to us because
Right.
we're all like, no one knows how to play this.
Right.
Now we're all on the same level.
I've been telling people we need to start playing Meat in South Florida, so hopefully we'll have the same effect. But Meat Map, I feel like, is just going to be like the Lilac Cruise of the Killer Queen maps. Like, just always the counter pick, you know?
Meat Map still needs a little bit of work.
Mm.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it just still doesn't feel. It doesn't have the feel.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
The top portion of it to me is
actually,
kind of odd. Like the
yeah,
lower
the top portion
portion's
seems
okay,
fine. So,
but the top portion's kind of like, I don't know.
So I got really deep into Mario Maker because I didn't tell you this, but Super Mario is one of my other like super favorite games, and
Oh, dope.
I'll sort of casually speed run that. I'm not saying that I'm a speedrunner by any means,
Right.
but it's at the bar. It's available whenever Killer Queen is, jam packed or whatever. I'll be over there playing that. But Mario Maker, it was interesting because there's Mario Maker level editor helpers. It's such a long name. But tutorials and stuff about Mario Maker is they say choose 3 elements to make your level, and then a theme.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like how I've been looking at level development for like games and stuff. So in Mario Maker, it would randomly choose 3 items for you, and then you'd choose your own theme so that you could go with that. So like in Killer Queen, they kind of did that. Let's go with Dust Map because I think Dust Map is probably the easiest one to talk about.
Okay.
Dust Map was the first map that they did the nipples.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, so you have the nipples. They changed the what do you call it? The nest, and then they also introduced the wraps that only drones could run through.
Right.
So those were the 3 sort of defining elements to that map.
That's interesting. So I guess along that path, like all of the maps have something, right? So Night Map has the wraps from vertical and horizontal. Day Map has
which is huge.
That long kind of. Day Map has that like really, really balanced symmetry, but it is also the only map where the hive's at the top, and the snail is at the bottom. So there's a big dichotomy there, and then Dust Map, like you said, it has all those. Maybe that's actually why Dust Map is kind of complicated for a lot of people to play, because it has those elements. The hive is suspended and like it's not grounded like the other ones are. It's in the middle, not the top or the bottom, and it's a big map. So like the snail trick is weird, the nipples at the top and the bottom is weird. Weird in terms of it's different than the other 2. So I know when Dust came out, like there was this thing of basically like Meat Map now, like nobody liked it. nobody thought it was any good. Like it's like wild and oh god, why are you doing this? And then Twilight Map, or Meat Map, I don't know what we're calling it. So Nikita started calling it Meat, so I guess it's Meat now, Nick.
Which I think I don't know. I shouldn't. Charlotte. I think Charlotte started it. Not me, but I think I know in Charlotte.
Not me. Not me. Disclaimer.
Not me. It wasn't me. Not me. But I think I know in Charlotte who started it, and they want to stay anonymous.
They want to stay anonymous. Okay.
Because I've tried several times.
Okay, wait. They want to stay anonymous.
I post to the spam posting all the time. I post the spam posting all the time, and every time.
Give them like an anonymous name. We gotta call them something, but not their real name. You gotta give them something we can refer to them as.
Shoot. I was trying to think of a fun pun with meat. How do we fit this in here?
You could call him
just call him Baloney Joe.
Baloney Joe.
We have a Joe here.
Baloney.
Okay, we'll call him Baloney Joe.
Baloney Joe.
But it's not Joe.
It's not Joe. Disclaimer: it's not Joe. Joe's a nice guy. Can we steal that, Joe? You gotta help me in my mission, man. My great goal is to create a team called G.I. Joe. I wanted to do 2 teams.
Yeah.
There was either gonna be a team of only Millers, and like people were connecting me with other Millers in the scene, Dan Miller and some of these other guys. We were gonna make Miller time. And I was like, okay, that's good. And then it was
oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. And then it was this Joe team because South Florida has like 4, and we're always at 4. Like, I don't know what it is. It's always 4. So we just need a 5th Joe that it could be time for real American heroes. Like, we could do it. That's all I want to do.
There's only one other Kyle, so I guess we're kind of stuck with it. And I don't know any Shipwashes other than me, so.
Where do you get a last name like Shipwash from? I've never ever. Like last names are supposed to be kind of like derived from old, like jobs, right? Like Smith or blacksmith and Millers, and where does Shipwash come from?
Or John Hancock, what is his profession?
We all know. We all know what his profession is.
Oh man, you're gonna make me expose all my secrets tonight.
It's the lazy J. The lazy J is about being exposed. Yeah. You get exposed when you do lazy
I got some
J's.
lazy J lore that we need to get to later.
Oh yeah, no, I do want to hear about that.
We'll save that for later though.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you get a name like Shipwash? Do you want the long answer or the short answer?
Let's go the short answer.
All right, short answer is you make it up.
Wait a minute, it's not your real last name?
No, it's not my last name.
It's just a name? My mind is blown. My mind is blown.
Yeah, I know. I've actually upset several people by telling them that.
Oh.
They're like, no, it's not true.
It's not.
And I'm like, no, it is. And they're like, no, it's not true. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here, do you want a drink or something? Let me get you some quarters. Like, you want to play a game with me? Like, how do I make this up?
Wow, this is causing existential crisis
I'll
for
buy
people.
you an Uber somewhere. Like,
I did not realize this. This is wild. Kyle Shipwash.
yeah.
Not the real last name. You were always entered. Well, I guess that's fair. Like, there are people, depending on what circle I'm in, there are people who will only call me Master Joe. Like, they will not refer to me as anything else. I'm getting the nickname MJ now, because South Florida is lazy and they don't like pronouncing full names. But I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, Shipwash. That is hilarious. So okay, you made up Shipwash. Shipwash is I mean, what is that? Is it a gamer tag? It's like it's a nickname.
It was for Facebook. So actually, my gamer tag before this was P Cowdog, because that was around the time that P Diddy changed his name.
Oh yeah, right.
And people called me Cal because my name's Kyle.
Right.
Southern people, you know how they talk.
Kyle.
And I wanted a screen name that had 8 characters because at the time, this is going way back to AIM.
Oh man.
8-character limit.
ASL.
Yeah. So that was kind of, and I didn't want numbers in my screen name because I thought numbers were for plebs. So.
I'm not gonna tell you what mine was then.
But yeah, so the reason that it came to be this was because Facebook, I didn't want to put my real name on there because I wanted to post memes.
So it comes back to the memes.
So I originally had a name of it was Kyle Sex Tank. Yeah. There's a line that was drawn and I definitely went over it, and my girlfriend at the time was like, this isn't cool, and I was like, fine, but I get to choose the next one.
Okay, I get to choose the next one.
I'll make a compromise, but I get to choose it.
Right.
So the next one that I chose was Kyle in Style.
Okay.
I thought that was really good.
Okay.
I really like that one.
It's got a good flow to it.
Got the ring. Yeah.
That's a team name. You should just save that for team name.
Yeah. So, but then that was around the time that Facebook started being like, no, you have to use your real name, and then they started like outing these people that were using their stage names and stuff, especially like, trans people that were trying to change genders and stuff, and it became like a real big mess.
Oh wow.
But anyways, somebody outed me as that's not a real name. No one's called Kyle in Style. So then I had to change my name again really quick, but I was like, I'll just change it back afterwards.
Right.
So like in just like a quick, non-witty, I just need to get online because I'm trying to message this person because I was in college at the time. I was like, I need this, this paper. We need to like, figure out where we're going to meet kind of thing so we can study for this test. I just made up Shipwash. And I was like, I'll change it later. Unfortunately, Facebook pinned me as like Shipwash, and they're like, no, this is your name. You can't change it. You have to give us a birth certificate or like an ID or something if you want to change it again. So I was a little upset with it.
Initially, you were not a fan.
I was not a fan. No, and then I started adding people from Killer Queen, and this was like 2 or 3 years later. I started adding people from Killer Queen, and they started, talking to me and stuff. They started blocking me because I share too many memes. And I just, they weren't able to see their own family.
Right.
Kids would be born and they wouldn't see, the child, because I'm
just a wall of memes.
Yeah. So they started calling me Shipwash in tournaments, and I just didn't correct them.
Dude, if you...
Because I was like, you know what? The story's too long. I can't do it.
Like, if you ever signed your name or something and it didn't say Shipwash, I swear I would be like, hey, dude, you spelled your name wrong.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, so...
That's wild. God, that is a story. This episode has been so worth already. So many good things.
Yeah.
We got to come back to the... It's kind of a fun
story, but I hope it doesn't ruin anybody's dreams.
No, please. Like, Jesus. It's so good. It's funny to me these people are actually getting upset. That's hilarious. We got to get back to the Lazy J lore story. I want to hang on to that for a second. We'll do a little bit of interesting rapid fire. We've been doing some of this with some folks on the show.
Okay.
Yours, I know, I've been thinking about what to say, and I think it's gonna be a good one. So we'll get into some of this.
Okay.
It's all gonna be like hella tight. So buckle up, Buttercup. Charlotte.
I have to think fast.
Yeah, we've been doing this in South Florida. Charlotte, who are your top picks for every role? Queen, Speed, Vanilla, Flex, OBJ, Can't Choose Yourself. And let's see. It's a lot of people in that scene. And you guys all kind of mix around. So we'll say everybody's on the
let me
table.
make sure I have this clear.
Yeah.
Let me sure. I'm on the team?
You are not on the team.
I'm not on the team. Or I'm just making the all-star team of Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, you were making the all-star team of Charlotte, not including yourself, who you would build on that.
Okay.
Who's Queen?
Okay. Queen is John.
Okay. Speed?
Jorge.
Ooh, Jorge. All right, Vanilla?
Dylan.
Dylan.
What do you mean?
Dylan's tight.
Does he go ledge guard too? Who's ledge guard?
Yeah. He would ledge guard. Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go.
Okay. And then Flex?
Oh man.
Oh, a lot of consideration on that one.
I'm blanking. Well, yeah, because we don't have anybody that really specializes in Flex.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think so.
I was kind of under the impression everybody had Flex is a thing that people try to beat.
Yeah. Can I skip that one for a second?
Yeah.
And go to objective.
OBJ.
That one's easy. Objective is Truett. But then going back to Flex, I don't know.
Yeah, that was not a lot of time saved on that skip.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Terrible strategy. I'm not showing off my Left 4 Dead skills here.
That's interesting, Flex. So, I guess the nature of Flex, right? You're starting off kind of OBJ, or you're starting off in some kind of disruptive drone state, and then you get up as needed, and you can hold that down too. So, is there a person that kind of facilitates both with a level of, expertise? It's
kind of odd that I guess I don't personally look for a Flex. So Flex isn't really a thing that I look for when I build a team.
So if you're building one, what would you say are the kind of positions you're looking to fill?
Oh man, you're getting all my secrets, dude. Why are we doing this? Why are we? Why is it like this?
We're digging deep into the mind of the Shipwash.
Digging deep.
Oh, I'm out of drink. Hun, you got the bottle?
Yeah. Oh, you get some drink, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna answer this question.
She's painting her nails, so I'm having a bad time right now. Here we go.
Oh no.
Ah, thank you. Huh? You were drinking this? You were drinking my drink? Well, only because I like you. Yeah, it's been a South Florida thing, I think. Because we were talking about roles, and we're trying to figure out how are we going to be building teams and getting people to kind of spread out their influence around a little bit, so that like as teams get built and people kind of split around, you don't get this shoehorn effect, right? Because you have some people who are going to play a certain role. They'll play speed, they'll play vanilla, they'll play objective, but they don't like move out of that role. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's been kind of a tough thing, because we get really like tunnel visioned into, oh, I only do this, and it's like, all right, we'll try something else, and they're like, and the comfort level is bad. So I'm always kind of trying to push people into like, try other things and like see how you like them, and then you can always get up, you know. But like,
yeah,
you can never go back. Like, as soon as you become a warrior, you can't do drone stuff anymore. So like, you know, your time to kind of play around and mess around with that is limited in game until you die again, which you don't want to do. So it's odd,
right?
You know.
It's interesting that you brought that up, because I feel like, at least for me, I've almost always played Queen in every tournament that I've ever played in. There's only been like maybe 2 tournaments that I wasn't Queen. Now I'll play other roles, you know, for practice and whatnot, because I feel like you were saying, like knowing and understanding all the other roles is always going to help out your main role.
Right.
You get yourself pigeonholed, you're going to have a bad time. And I feel like one of the things, at least for my own personal development, I should have, and I probably still could, play with other top queens and play under them and learn how they communicate, learn how they move, and I think that would better me.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to get that position sometimes, because people have their cliques, they have their friends, they also choose players long before sometimes I even decide I'm even going.
Right. Yeah.
and then you're scrambling last minute. There's so many tournaments that I went to that I didn't even have a team until like last minute.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I just kind of roll with it. Whatever.
Yo, just show up and hey, team for hire. What? Have you had
I've been to
some
cities
success
that
like that?
didn't even have a place to stay that night.
Oh my god. Wild. My wife would like, oh geez. First thing she says, where you staying? Where's it at? Send me the address. You can't sleep in the car. I'm like, hun, it'll be fine. Like, no.
My first experience with that was Bumble Bash 1, and it was Jorge that made the joke. I brought up Jorge so many times now, but he's got so many like one-liners that are just so good, because like he's kind of quiet, but then when he says something, it's just a one-liner that just like hits to the heart. But Bumble Bash 1, we were going to Austin, and I didn't have a place to stay for the first, because I was going to go for a week.
Oh wow.
I didn't know or understand what travel was, because I don't think I had traveled for Killer Queen at all until this time. And I was like, I'm going to go to Austin. I'm going to make it like a vacation. So I go a week early with no place to stay because we were actually our bar owner, Zach, actually sponsored us with a Airbnb the first year.
Oh, that is awesome.
Which was super awesome, and it was so cool that was even like an option. He also got us these really cool shirts. I don't have mine close by.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
hold on, I think I do.
Did you hear that, Dwight? The bar owner sponsored him for an Airbnb their first year. Wow, that's so cool. Shout out to Dwight.
And then they also made these shirts for us too.
I can't say too much. Oh, cool. Oh, that's dope. Yeah. Our first tournament, Dwight did get us jerseys, which everyone made fun of us for, but we got on the map, so it was good.
So going back to the Jorge joke was, as I flew over, Jorge was like, make sure when you fly over, you find a bridge that looks comfortable to sleep under.
Oh my God. Savage.
And this was like, we'd only known each other for like maybe 3 or 6 months before this. So then like once I landed, I sent some pictures to the chat, the Charlotte chat. I was like, here, look, here's this bridge. I'm checking this out. What do you think? This one's 100 square foot. This one has
100 square foot.
You know, there's a liquor store next to this one. There's a grocery store next to this one.
Wait, so where did you even end up staying then? Like you're just out there, just hoofing it.
Yeah, I ended up staying at my very first what do you call those places?
Well, like a hostel.
Hostel.
Hostel? Oh yeah, I've never been in a hostel.
Yeah.
Kind of interested, but
yeah,
like,
that was
Oh, what's it
That was an
like?
experience.
What's it like in a hostel?
It was pretty cheap for one. Also, this was around Halloween,
Mm.
so my costume that I brought was a onesie of Meeseeks from
Mr.
Rick and Morty.
Meeseeks.
Yeah. But I ended up staying in a room with, let's see, 2, 4, 6 people.
Oh my god.
So 5 other people. And they had this special that if you stayed there, if you added like an extra, I think it was like $50 or whatever, they would take you on a tour of like 7 different bars that they had already like pre-agreed to that you wouldn't have to pay cover.
Oh, okay. So like a little bar
And you
crawl.
would go with, yeah, like a bar crawl. And it was super awesome. And I met some friends and stuff. I met this guy from Europe, and we chatted, and like we got in a phone booth together and took pictures and all this other stuff. And it was super fun.
That's wow. That's cool. That's really
it was
cool.
really interesting experience.
Yeah. No, I mean, the opportunity has never arisen, but I've always been like, Japan is in the works. I'm thinking about going over there at some point. We were supposed to go in September this year. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. But I think I saw some hostels in Japan. Like, oh, maybe that'd be cool. Like, But that's interesting. You actually did get to stay in one in Austin, of all places. Which I've been to Austin, but not for Killer Queen. But like I've been to Pinballs.
Yeah.
Which I think that scene died or something. That's the one with, like the checkerboard floor. But we were around in that area to listen to, what was it? The Symphony of the Goddess tour that they were doing for Legend of Zelda, which was awesome.
Okay.
So that was a lot of fun. But that's crazy. So you're going around in that, you're traveling, you're doing all these things.
And that was an interesting tournament because that was before Dust Map, so there was only day and night. No, wait. Was it just day and night? I think it was just day and night.
For BB1, probably, yeah.
I think it was just day and night. And me and Jorge were tandem queening, so we were switching off.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't really a strategy people do much anymore. But we were so new, like we didn't know what to do. So like he had day, I had night. And our name was Southern Discomfort. Which was pretty cool. I think we were one, if not the only Southern state that like was in the tournament.
Right, for Charlotte.
Yeah. Actually, ATX was there, but they were really, really new.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole story about that I actually learned, but somebody else should tell that story that's from there.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get somebody on.
Yeah.
I think at some point it's definitely stated we have to get an ATX person on, because South Florida ATX had some history, so we got to talk about it. I want to hear from their side.
Ask them about the new boards and hovering, because that was kind of the whole. There's a whole little like story there.
The new boards and hovering. Okay, ATX. I'm writing this down.
I don't want to give away any thunder, but if you ask me later, I'll tell you more about it.
Okay, sounds good. Very nice. This is good. Okay, and then let me see. There was something I was thinking about while you were talking. Oh Jesus, what was that? Oh, ATX. You're talking about traveling in the tournaments. I was thinking, some of the earliest places where you and I actually like met up and played in tournament, because oddly enough we've played in tournament, I want to say 3 times, and of all the tournaments I've been to, which like there's not a lot outside of Florida, I mean there's some but not a bunch. First one was Chattanooga, and I forget what I think it was like SummerSlam or something like that. I was on a team with Andrew Will, Casey Campbell, I can't remember the other 2 guys, but I remember there was a map. It was night map. Andrew was queening primarily. We played against your team, and then I don't know why or what happened, but Andrew was like, "Hey, do you want to queen this game?" And it was night map, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I want to queen." That was like in my formative, I want to learn, time. But we were playing against your team, and I can remember this was like my first like, oh shit. We played against you guys, and we're under the hive, and there's a berry that gets up in between us, and like I luck out that time, and I get you in the hive, and it's like, oh shit, this is awesome. And then the next game, you just fucking steamrolled me, and then Andrew was like, okay, that was fun. Now go back to doing work here. But I think that was the first time we played in tournament, and then it ended up being like you and John K in the finals. I think he took that one. I can't remember. But something like that.
Was that when there was a because I went to Chicago. Woo. There was 2 Chattanooga tournaments that I'm thinking of.
Oh.
One was when I had Heidi Holes, and I don't remember if that was the team that played against you, or the other one was one of the bonus renditions where we had Andrew Wilkening and Tiana play with us.
No, then it had to be Heidi Hose because at the Chattanooga tournament I was at, I was playing with Andrew Wilkening.
No. Andrew and Tiana, both from New York.
Oh, from New York.
Andrew Daltrey.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Got you. Yeah, then maybe it was actually bonus snap because I remember it was part of the legend. It was like, oh shit, bonus snap is here. So
okay.
I think that might have been it. Yeah. But so that was the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know if we actually got to play. Maybe we did. In Queens Gone Wild 1. I know for sure we didn't play at Hive Hustle. I don't know if you made it to the first Hive Hustle. Were you at that one?
I was at the first Hive Hustle. We got second place.
You guys got second at Hive. Oh my god. Yeah, then we didn't play. I remember getting stomped by Cody in friendlies and getting demolished by Damish, and I don't remember my name after that.
Yeah, we got second place, and because we got second place, we got like a year's supply of Red Bull. So like every month they would send us 5 cases.
Oh my god, I'm so
upset. It just became like Red Bull's great and cool and all, but like after you've had like I don't drink Red Bull, but like my team was just like, we can't drink this anymore. So then like I'm just trying to like pawn it off on people. I'm like, please, just somebody take it to work. And I'd come in with a what do you call it, a hand truck of Red Bull, and they're like, why are you bringing this in here? And I'm like, it's a long story, please just take it.
You never told them how you got that Red Bull?
I don't want to tell you all I travel for a 2D video game. That's just too much.
That is hilarious. That is so funny. It's just carts and carts of Red Bull. You don't know how to get rid of it. That's freaking crazy, man. Who do you think in like queening whenever you're in tournament? I mean, teams are scary, right? But like whenever you're in tournament, we're always like, oh god, Kyle's in our pool. We're playing Kyle next, or like we know when like you're coming up, and it's like, fuck. I can remember in Bumble Bash in BB4. Oh, I have to tell this for Floyd. Floyd told me I gotta tell this story. So we're playing you guys. I think it's a pools match. We're at not the Choo Choo, but the other place, the Moxie, and we're playing. I think we did day. I can't remember. I think we won day map. I think we won a day map. And then we go to night map.
Yeah.
And you guys win night, and then you win dusk too. But the night map game, at the very end of it, and you can see this when you go back on the stream, Floyd is playing blue checks. You guys are running a snail, and like the snail is going in. We're losing. It's like, oh shit. And Floyd, at the very end, before the snail goes in, he comes up behind you. And you don't turn around, and he just ever so lightly just bumps you enough where like your queen moves forward a little bit. It's like he was too low or something. He was really high, you know, like he was like over the belly button or whatever they like to call it in New York. But it bumped you, and you can see your face like reacting in the cam. You're just like, oh shit! You just lose your mind, like, oh my god. But the snail goes in, you don't die. And to this day, Floyd always brings us up like this is the most haunting moment of my Killer Queen career.
What could have been.
What could have been is just.
Oh man.
Do you remember that shit?
I'll have to find that and see it.
Dude.
I'll have to find out. So much happens. I don't.
All the games are wild, and like it's pools. You know what I mean? Like you remember the knockout round more. We played you guys again in knockout, and you guys just killed us. I think it was we played 60% first. In first round, and we got sent to losers, and then at some point we met you guys there, and you just demolished us. It was like Lancaster woke up, and it was like, ah, fuck, we're dead.
Yeah, we were trying to click then. Yeah,
that was interesting.
We were trying to find our flow. I want Lesko to get one of those, like, cause have you seen Lesko do his replays where he zooms in on stuff and he comes around and he puts the commentary over it and stuff. I want to see one of those where he like zooms in on my face like right as I get bounced out.
Ryan,
just to see like.
Ryan, you're watching. Make it happen, man.
Is he in the chat?
He's gonna see it, I'm sure. What does Lesko not watch? Lesko is aware of everything. He's the great champion. That's crazy. That's wild. And then, I mean, it was a great victory for me. I think Queen's Gone Wild 2. That was a moment where I think, because again, like I felt like I was playing so bad, but it's like I still have to stay alive. You know what I mean? And I had to depend on my team. We're playing against you guys. You guys are playing freaking amazing. And then what's the guy's name from Charlotte? God, what's his name? He kept yelling about everything.
Eli.
Eli. Yeah.
I need a ceiling. I need a ceiling.
Oh man. Eli just yelling. We all got snake venom in us now. It's like the tournament's over, and you're just like, Eli was just yelling the whole time.
It was so funny because like we had people from the other side of the cab come over and go, "You're triggering us," and I'm like, "Really?" Because he's triggering us too. Like,
it's freaking wild.
This
man.
isn't a weapon against y'all. It's just everyone's getting like
everyone's
triggered.
getting triggered. So coming back to the question, it's like we know when you're coming up, right? Which queen or queens when you're in tournament are on your radar? Like, oh fuck, this guy's coming or this girl's coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's the queens that you look for, and then there's also the teams you look for. So, because it is a 5-person game, there's the queens that make the difference, but then there's also the teams that make the difference.
Right.
I don't know. It depends on the teams. I mean, there's always obviously like the Domish team, the Woody team, the Cody team. Then there's also the John team you got to look for. Then like if we're spreading out to other scenes, then you got like the Craig team. If Blake is with Craig or not, then you got the Blake team. And just all those other high tier over in San Francisco, you got Hitoshi. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Hitoshi.
And then Dan. Then you go down to South Florida. You know, you got you. Austin, you got Brandon. Like those top queens that pretty much anybody that was invited to Camp KQ as one of the queens.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you can look out for.
That's the spot.
Because that's what they handpicked. Yeah. But then there's also the teams and stuff too, where like, you know, because what was it in Phoenix? You had Goldberg as queen, but like that was a solid team. I forget the name of the team.
Yeah.
I think it was called.
Yeah, they ended up winning.
Raise Up Blades.
Or no.
Raise Up.
Domish's team ended up winning, but they were. Yeah, they came in second. Yeah, Raise Up.
Yeah.
Raise the Blades.
Yeah, you know they were really good. I got him down to last life, I think on 2 maps, but we still lost. It was just kind of that was a fun tournament. That was one of the tournaments where I was like, yeah, last minute, yeah, I'll go, whatever.
Yeah, that was the weekend right before. Yeah, I remember seeing you. Like, Kyle, what are you doing here, man? You're coming to Florida next week. It's like, yeah, you know.
I didn't know I was going. I didn't know I was going.
Just randomly show up. That's been crazy. No, you're definitely like one of my favorite people, I want to say, in the scene. In terms of like queen, like, I don't know, style or whatnot. Like everyone's like, oh, Walshy's like one of these guys is going to dive under you. Kyle, he's going to dive under you. He's going to do something crazy, you know, like you're like one of these guys that just is able to, in a way, right, do whatever the fuck you want to do, get away with it, and style at the same time. Which like, it's a very like, it's a thing I think South Florida as a scene kind of gravitates towards. Like if the two splits of play are calm, cool, collected, controlled, like to represent New York as one of the pillars of the, you know, the scene in terms of talent, how many times they've won as a scene. And then like the other side, which is just wild, bombastic, unpredictable, unsafe, you know, and like that end, if it's like Chicago, right, between those two, you know, splits, I feel like South Florida definitely wants to go more towards the wild child side of things, and like you embody that really, really well. I can remember early on, my former teammate Deanna, who's in New York now, would say, dude, your play style is like really similar to Shipwash. Like you do really crazy, weird things. And that was like a while ago, and like, you know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Probably just being risky for no reason and tagging gates because they're not tagged and it's dumb. But I think your format of play is like really inventive and very cool. And I'm hoping like more people pick that up, you know, because I think, not to knock New York, I think that they have a certain level of patience and like willpower and fundamentals that like you just have to have if you're going to be successful at this game. But like, I don't know, man. I want to see the players and the teams that are just like outwardly passionate and just like, you know, shit talking and you know, it makes it a spectacle, makes it a show, and on top of being competitive and like, you know, being respectful and all that type of stuff too. Like I feel like there's a balance for that. Do you ever feel like that style of play for you personally like backfires, where it's like, damn, I wish I did play more like controlled and safe? Or do you think you've kind of got it figured out now where you can kind of still play wild and risky but stay alive?
So you're hitting on another one of my theories of order and chaos.
Order and chaos. Okay.
In here. Order and chaos. So you go back and forth. So, like, you know, you have like the Domish that stays in order, or you have like the Esparza that tries to make chaos. But if you can control and understand what the other team needs from you, or what the other team doesn't need from you, and you can flip-flop that dial from order to chaos, that's going to help you out tremendously.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like,
so the chaos stuff is always the cool clips and things where you know, somebody, you know, I don't know, phases through a queen and actually gets a kill.
It's happened
during an upward drip.
Yeah,
I don't know when that happened. No. or you have the order where, you know, you're just dominating and like there's nothing clippable because you're just systematically taking them out.
Yeah, it's important, and you bring up a good point, because I think I've heard you say that before. But there's a moment where you can't be all chaos, because then if you're all something all the time, you become predictable. So people kind of can take advantage of knowing you're going to be in this state, or knowing you're going to go for things. So when you bring in a little bit of that order, it throws them off, you know. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I think Malloy in our scene is pretty good at doing that, because he'll do things that you don't expect him to do in that moment. Because he's kind of seen more traditionally as our kind of order queen, but he's recently started being more chaotic. So it's like, it's hard to get a read on him now. Versus me, I didn't know this, but we did stats at the last Killer Heat, which is our monthly, and I die the absolute most out of all of the queens. I get the most kills, which also isn't necessarily good, you know, when you're on a team and you have warriors to do that. But I'd for sure die the most. So that was like news to me. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. All right, I guess I need to be a little smarter here, take less risk. But it's interesting.
But yeah,
going back and forth.
Your team is always going to feel the best whenever they are the ones that are setting the pace.
Yeah, no, that's important. I think you're absolutely right. Let me kind of start to close out a little bit on this. For you personally, for South Florida, and take me out of the mix, right? Not part of this. Who in South Florida comes up in your mind as like, I played against this person. I think this person is good. They could be just like a cool person to hang out with, a person you think is really skilled on the cab, but like, who stands out in your mind in South Florida, if anybody, of being like, yo, this person is at the forefront of the head for a question like that?
Can you break that down a little bit more? That's really broad.
It is. It's
because
like,
you also said a cool person. You said cool person on the cab, cool person off the cab, but then you also kind of
those could be two different people. Yeah, I guess it's two people.
Yeah.
It's got to be okay. Person in South Florida that you're like cool to hang with, right? From your experience here, and then person from South Florida on the cab that maybe caught your attention and playing against them.
Gosh. So, I mean, off the cab, Richard's always really fun to be around. I like hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's cool, dude.
Yeah. He's always been very welcoming and warming as far as like being a host.
Oh yeah, right, because you guys stayed at his place, Queens Gone Wild 1 and 2, or just 1?
I think both. Yeah, I kind of went in and out the first time, but yeah, this time I definitely stayed with him.
Cool.
And also, he was the one that at Hive Hustle Like, I met him first because Bonus Snap had just finished a set. I turn around and I see you guys there, and like Richard introduces himself, and he's like, hey, I've been seeing you like on stream and stuff and all this, and like getting hyped up, and like I get it because I do the same stuff too. It's like it's really weird to see people on stream and then be like, man, this is a celebrity, and then you meet them in person. Like,
yeah, that's exactly.
I
what
do
it
the
feels
same
like.
stuff, and it's such a cool community to do that kind of thing. So yeah. He's really great. I guess on the cab, as far as like I've seen some advancements and improvements. I really want to see where Heather's going with her stuff. That's really interesting to see as she's progressing.
Yeah, Heather has been making the push for Queen. She's
Mhm.
before all this pandemic stuff, she was literally working on building a team. Like right after Queen's Gone Wild, she had got some players and was kind of trying to come in and build that up a bit. But yeah, she is. I mean, between her and Amanda, they are the only female Queen players we have. And you know, she's traveled. She went to Minneapolis. She went to Jacksonville and played, and in their first tournament. So like she's got a little experience going around. I think she was at Chicago as well. So she's got some experience, and I think she's coming up. Her main thing from kind of what I would say if it was me, it's just like she's like still working on the part of getting out of her own head about things, you know, and really like kind of taking that command level of, you know, okay, setting the tone for the team in a way, you know.
See, yeah, being sort of like the strong leader, like this is what we're doing, and we're pushing forward.
Right. Yeah, because she's got she's a very nice. She's got that scene mom. You know, she's our scene mom. She's got that kind of nice den mother kind of vibe. So sometimes, you know, you'll cater to like, oh, what do you guys want to do, or like what's everybody feel comfortable with, and sometimes that works, but other times you got to be like, yo, I need you to do this. I need you to go here. I need you to cover that and watch him, and you know, so you got to like kind of direct a little bit. But that's a good point. Not bad, man.
That's
dope.
understandable.
So getting to the tail end here, this has been really freaking fun. Obviously when we're in pandemic right now, so I'll leave you with this question. What's like your hope for Charlotte as you're seeing, right, coming out of this? Because obviously from like talks we've had with other folks in the scene, you know, Jordan and Amar, Lancaster and folks, Charlotte's had this problem, which all the scenes have, of you get this skill gap and it becomes kind of unattainable for new folks to catch up to it. South Florida's beginning to experience some of the same things, but one of the, I don't want to say benefits, but kind of consequences inherently of COVID is everyone is kind of like, hasn't been able to play. So there's automatically kind of built in a reboot, you know? So what types of things would you like to see for Charlotte in terms of scene growth around a potential reboot when the bars reopen and people are going back out again?
I don't know, this might be pessimistic, but I don't know if the reboot is actually going to be as significant as everybody thinks it's going to be. The skill gap has been, or the skill ceiling has been pushed down so much in the game, which I understand why, because it makes it accessible to a lot of people. And I think we touched on it a little bit. We didn't go as far in depth as I'd want to about some of the old like tech and stuff, but I think that skill gap is still going to be there.
No, I think you're right. And I think, you know, and that is kind of like an angle where if it does come back up, like how quickly are people going to get back on the bike? You know, it doesn't take all that long to kind of wake those muscles back up again, you know, and you don't lose what's in the
because
mind.
I've even without the pandemic, I've seen people take 6 months breaks without, I don't know if you want me to name names, but I've seen people in Chicago, New York, people take 6 months breaks and come back and then they're still just as good.
Yeah, that's true. We had we had our warrior JP take like a 3-month break at some point. Hadn't played a wick, came back on Killer Heat, our monthly, and just, you know, destroyed everybody, and his team won. So
I mean, I've taken breaks too. Yeah.
No, that's wild, dude. Oh shit, we can't leave on that. You're supposed to tell us the lore of the Lazy J.
Thank you. I got to do that. Yeah. I was about to interrupt you and be like, no.
Yeah,
I'm pushing this.
This is the thing we've got to do. This is the Lazy J.
Is there a way that I can stream something here? Can I do that?
I think so. Can you could probably screen share on that side? Share your application window.
Screen share. Oh no, I don't think I can screen share within a I don't see it.
There should be like a section.
Oh, here we go. I see it.
You got it? Okay.
I found it.
So for those that don't know, this is the lore of the maneuver as to like why it's called the Lazy J.
Here we go. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. So your show's called the Lazy J, and I thought it was really cool and fun because, like, a long time ago, people were coining things and stuff. We didn't even talk about the drip wash, really. I mean, we talked about the tech of it, but we didn't talk about where it came from or really what's going on there.
Yeah, I feel like we got to talk about that too, real quick too.
Yeah, we started so many tangents and stuff. It's been super fun. There's just so much to cover.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an old message that somebody made a long time ago in Minneapolis.
Yeah, Jesus, 2017.
Yeah, and so they were talking about all these, at the time, this maneuver was called the poor man's J dive because everybody was like, no, you need to J dive because you need to know and understand tech. Everyone was stressing tech so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have all these friends, these people are gonna pop up now and try to like take over.
Right.
Close.
Stop talking to me, I'm on TV.
I don't know any of these people. All right. So people were so like pushing for tech and they were like, no, you only do a J dive. There's no such thing as this poor man's J dive, which poor man's J dive is just a huge like mess of words to say.
It is.
And anyways, they were trying to figure out how to punish it. So if over here you got the queen that's starting up here. Can you see my cursor?
Oh no, I can't see the cursor. God
Okay,
damn it.
so you got the blue queen up in the top left where that circle is, and
Right.
she's coming down here to do this touch and go, which they called it again the poor man's J dive. People were like, over on the red side here, they would leave by going backwards and
Richard.
try to get out of it.
Richard's watching.
And, yeah, I know. Everybody's gonna start pinging me now.
Yeah.
And anyways, the worst thing to do was to move away because you gave them this space. What they were trying to do was to get people to go forward to charge into this poor man's J dive to get rid of it. Anyways, this caused a lot of conversation because you can see all the comments here.
Jesus,
And then
70
if you-
comments, yeah.
Yeah, if you scroll down, we're not going to go through all of it unless you really, really, really want to, but
Richard.
yeah, right? But we'll go down here, and I managed to save this because, like, I was like, no, this is going to come up again. Someone needs to know that I coined one move. Because this was before I even had the drip wash.
No freaking way you coined. Oh my
I've been
God,
calling
there
them
it
Lazy
is, 3 years
J's
ago.
Because it sounds nice and short. 3 years ago.
And then Brandon comes.
Oh yeah, here, let's play it.
Oh, his story checks out. Oh my God. That is hilarious. You coined the Lazy J.
Yeah, because I was afraid I was never gonna get a move because they had like the Cody walk, they had the Cesar shuffle, they had all these other techs and stuff.
I remember the
And I was
Cesar
like,
shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I just want something.
Wait, so you named that's insane. This comes back to the whole thing of you calling things out before they're viral, and now they're viral, and now here's the proof. 3 years
Viral,
ago,
yeah.
I named Lazy J the Lazy J. That's insane, and now you're on the Lazy J. This is some weird Inception
On the
ship
Lazy
now.
J. It's full circle. It's full circle.
That's crazy. So the Lazy J, that's the name of that particular move, right? But it's not your name. You have your move named, which is the drip wash. So real quick,
Yeah.
closing out, tell me how that one came to be.
So this was after I sort of like wanted to learn how to do. We were talking about the Bobby Claw earlier.
Yeah.
Let me turn my camera back on now because we're not talking about that anymore. We were talking about the Bobby Claw, which I wanted to learn how to do that because I was like, man, this guy is beating me in these like corner kills.
Mm-hmm.
But then they took out the corner kills, so then I was like, well, I still feel like there's something here. There's something here because if you look at the hitboxes, there's gotta be a way to be like possibly invincible if I could just stay on the ceiling in a dive. And I was like, I wonder if this actually works.
Right. Okay.
So I tested it out a few times, and it took me like 6 months to get really good at it. And
Wow.
I would do it periodically. The first time that they caught me was in I think it was KQ25 was when people finally caught on to when I was doing it. But I was doing it 6 months before, but I would do it in just like teeny tiny increments because one, I wasn't good at it, and then two, I didn't want anybody else to see it.
Right.
But then like that was at 25, I would just be like going across the whole map, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna drip wash over here, go down to here. But before that, you can find it in a few other places where people just go, wow, that's really weird. I feel like the queen should have died. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I should have.
Oh, he's playing the field. None the wiser. That's fucking hilarious. So you're doing this that early, and then when did you notice like the community had kind of given it this name, or like when did the name come into play?
I think it was KQ 25, Chicago. KQ 25 was I think when people really caught on to it. Because I started getting messages in my inbox going, how do you do this move? I seen you do this. And then Jorge, again, I've plugged Jorge so many times, but like Jorge every now and then he'll come in and be like, again, he does his one-liners. He's like, hey, people are calling this move the drip wash.
That is a fucking button. That's great.
Jorge doesn't say much, but when he says something, it's memorable. It's always like that one-liner. It's like, this is when I know something has changed.
Fucking Jorge. Jesus. I'm gonna have to bring him on here. That is wild, man. So good. So many stories, so much good stuff. This is incredible. This is wild. I feel like there's so much more to unpack, but like I gotta close this fucking show out. It's getting long. People are gonna listen.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I've had fun.
This has been wild. We'll definitely have to have you back on. This has been the Lazy J with my main man Kyle. Not my last name, Shipwash.
Oh, can I plug mine?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Tell us about Cribs. Let us know when the next episodes are and whatnot.
Super duper quick. So there's KQTV, which is a community effort to get a lot of people in Killer Queen to make and produce their own shows so that we can be kind of social. Dylan Higgins actually started it, and he's wanting to, what is the word? Communitize it. Like,
Commutize.
Make it a community effort instead of a Dylan Higgins effort.
Right.
So I do Cribs on Sunday, Killer Queen Quarantine Cribs on Sunday at 9 or 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And that's whenever I just have someone, connect to me, kind of like how you're doing your talk show here. They connect to me, and we go around their house and we just like look at all the cool stuff that they've collected, where they live, what they've been doing.
Oh, very cool. So that's Sundays around 8:30, 9, and then you guys can tune into that on. What's the Twitch channel? It's twitch.tv/KQTV. KQTV. Dope.
Yep.
Not too bad. Well, I mean, shoot, I'll definitely be tuning in at least this Sunday and seeing what's going on with that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Shout outs to Dylan. I know you've got another show on there. I saw you're kind of pinging around for getting some folks to come in and play some games, and there's been some votes. Anytime you guys do a poll and you let people make additions, it just gets so long.
I wanna do social gaming events, so I'm gonna actually start making a week-long schedule of just games that we're gonna agree to go to every night. So like I put it in the spam posting. Like right now, it looks like people are wanting to play, Overwatch, Left 4 Dead, Fortnite. These cross-platform games that we can all still stay social.
Mm-hmm.
There's no start or stop time. It's just the evening play, just to kind of seed and get people into those situations, into those games.
That's dope.
Find their clicks, find their space.
I mean, I hope a lot of people kind of get into that and see what's going on. There's a lot of cool, like, it's interesting seeing out like with the pandemic and not being able to go to the bar and do the thing that we kind of all met, under those circumstances, and people are still kind of going out and finding ways to connect and keep those relationships up and going so that they don't just fizzle out since we can't do the thing anymore, So that's always cool and fun. But dope, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on here with me. And like I said, we definitely got to get you back on to unpack some more. I didn't realize you were such a huge student of the game. It's just like, that's crazy. You're really like into it. It's dope. I like that.
You already got so many of my secrets, but it's been really fun talking to you.
Absolutely. This has been the Lazy J. Thanks for tuning in. Next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks, Kyle.
Take care.